America is slowly losing its grip on its pursuit of liberty and the pursuit of happiness as we watch criminals take hold of democratic cities, where domesticated terroristic organizations sponsored by blue organizations dictate how our law enforcement agencies govern our communities. The balance of power seems more like bullshit as we bend and take it over the head or take a bullet as we sit in the car to grab a bite to eat. In New York City, we watch our law enforcement lose jobs to COVID mandates. Today in our city, they just announced that they're about to fire detectives for not taking the vaccine when they could have rightfully worked from home and been instructed to mask up when dealing with anyone in the public. But instead, we're going to lose detectives, people who put the pieces together of sadistic, murderous puzzles and protect our communities so the chosen few can feel good about white men being punished. And I want to say these people, they think not of their fellow Americans. They just want to get even with white skin. They could care less about those of us just trying to get by and raise our families honestly under God. We listen to Democrats rant and rave about the environment, but I myself live around the corner, from a building, 1986 Grand Avenue, which was deemed as an environmental risk of floods and wildfires. Should this happen, many people in this area will lose their lives. But it's the Bronx. Ocasio and her crew could care less. We watch as the undocumented occupy jobs and housing that should rightfully sustain the working poor and homeless, low income. We listen to them make threats against anyone who speaks out against this great violation of the 14th Amendment. We are living our lives under inflation. This is caused by a great demand. What they won't tell you. They'll tell you about what role Ukraine may play, about what role goods being stuck on the seas might play, but they won't tell you that anytime you increase demand in numerous proportions, unnecessarily, that it increases demands. As we watch people undocumented come into the country with babies who will need milk and diapers, people who will need food and shelter. And as more and more and more come in, the prices will increase, and thus you have inflation. We listen to our president who tells us to keep calm. There's nothing to see here. Keep calm. I have it under control. I want to remind you of a poem written by Alan Wilson, I believe, so eloquently spoken by our 45th president.
It's called The Snake. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor half-frozen snake His pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. Poor thing, she cried, I'll take you in and I'll take care of you. The border. Take me in, oh tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and as soon as she arrived, she found that pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. Take me in, oh tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed that vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. But if I hadn't brought you in by now, oh heavens, you would have died. She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed him and held him tight. But instead of saying thank you, that snake gave her a vicious bite. Take me in, oh tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. I have saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me, heavens, why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Oh, shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
Absolutely. Very true poem, very relating to the times. I want to speak of Mississippi for a moment, where the judge in the federal branch of law just decided that they will allow undocumented people to vote in the election. I'm not happy with this, as Mississippi has always been a Confederate state. And before they decided to give the right to undocumented citizens to vote, I think they owed Black people, Negro Americans, who they lynched and treated very unfairly, an apology. And I think any advantage that came with that should have went to the Negro American and not the undocumented. But this is where we are today. As we have these terrorist groups who are angered by white skin dictate how law enforcement should conduct themselves. We're losing protections. We're losing lives. And now we have watched a Confederate state who killed 3 people, 2 Jewish men and 1 Black man, 1 Negro American, killed them when they tried to obtain the right to vote for the citizens, the Negro American citizens of that state. We all know the story. Today was a huge dishonor. And I can't even believe I'm going to say what I'm about to say, but I do hope that the white-skinned people that so many Black people hate turn out in numerous numbers on November 3rd, and then again 2024. We are living under the Global Compact. I was called a coon a white people's lover, someone who hated their own kind because I was trying to warn the Negro American. I was trying to explain to the Negro American what would happen to them. Nobody is doing anything right now in my city about the crime, and we are losing numerous innocent lives. We are watching our law enforcement lose jobs over something the Constitution says you have the right to deny. If you see so fit that you should die, you have that right, as long as you are in sound mind. God bless the people of Buffalo, who's lost so many people. God bless the people of Texas, who have lost so many people. Children, teachers, family. I'm disgusted by this. But what the Democrats are trying to do is wrong. What they're proposing is wrong. And before you know it, you will have no right as a citizen. No right. Every move you make will be dictated to you by terrorist organizations appointed by blue organizations. I tried to warn you. It cost me. My name was doxxed, but still I rise. I have been threatened by undocumented because I told the truth of their racism that they practice in their countries. But still I rise. I hope that the people who felt that the orange guy, Trump 4-5, was the racist, is seeing for themselves today as Black people lose their homes, shelters, and damn near their place in history. I hope you understand today.